Sherry Weiner, Lynn, Ellen Pallaby, a former member, and we also have Judy Birdie, the head of the Historical Society, Shelton Haynes, the head of REOC, Roosevelt Island Operating Corporation, Joyce Short, the head of Island Tennis, and have I missed anybody? Matthew Katz and Sherry Hillstein, local activist leaders, and our most recently confirmed REOC board member by Governor Hochul, Ray Christian. Raise your hand. So the mayor came to Albany to testify before the Ways and Means Committee that I sit on. And I started to talk to him about Roosevelt Island, and he said, Rebecca, I'd love to come take a tour of the island. And I know we have various issues here on the island that we want to talk about, like continuing to fight to get a bank, a medical facility on the island, and I'm hearing a lot about pickleball courts. So I just wanted to bring the mayor and have him have a few words with us today. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
First of all, I love pickleball. I'm in Brighton Beach, and this is an amazing community, an amazing space as you continue to expand and grow. We need to make sure those things that are important to the quality of life are looked at. And when I spoke with the Assemblywoman in Albany a few months ago, I said I want to come to Roosevelt Island, meet some of the residents, hear some of the issues. And actually, as fate will have it, I think this is my third, fourth time being here. I was at the school since being elected. I've been here several times. I was here with Bloomberg as he was looking over the school. We did a drive-through. And so this is one of many. People often see Roosevelt Island as separate from New York. I don't. I believe we're all New Yorkers, and we need to make sure the same things we do in the other 5 boroughs must be carried out here.
Part of Manhattan, Mayor.
So I'm here because you have an amazing representative and the Assemblywoman and a councilwoman. Where is she? Julie Manning?
She had to leave.
She had to leave. So you have some of the cream of the crop when it comes down to lawmakers. So that's why I'm here. That's the purpose for me.
Before you go, a moment, like the Girl Scouts would like to welcome you. You got right into
The Girl Scouts are here. All right, the Roosevelt
all of
Island.
us, we're not here to come out so we can see you. And we have the youngest Daisies here today.
Fabulous.
Some girls, just many of them are away on holiday, but we were.
We love our Girl Scouts. I always serve their cookies at our parties.
We do too. Good morning, Mayor. 2, 3, 2, 3, 3. Welcome you to Roosevelt Island.
All right.
Why don't we dig into some of the issues? You know, I can't even tell you. This city, you know, I got 23 stops today. Ended up in Staten Island. So I wanted to make sure, let's start the conversation. We're going to follow up with the Assemblywoman's office. But what are some of the top line issues as we move around the island? So I'm going to turn it over to the Assemblywoman and let her move the meeting.
All right. You put me in the hot spot here. Matthew Katz.
Welcome, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
There is one overriding issue that has been with us for decades, and that is who decides. We have been blessed with some marvelous elected officials, like Rebecca Seawright. But the bottom line is that the administration of this island is through the state of New York, through a public benefit corporation. There's an oxymoron there, called REOC, the Roosevelt Island Operating Corporation. And its members are not elected. Its president, CEO is not elected, and not a single president has ever lived on this island. They are not stakeholders in this island. And the question is, the city owns this island. It leased it to the state for 99 years, through 2068. There's a dialogue that needs to be held here. How is this island that has been completely developed now? And that was the reason it was turned over to the state in the first place, to develop the island. how do we go forward to give this community a democratic voice in how it's administered? And we need your help.
Right. Who's taking notes here? Okay, all right. And so that's a conversation that we need to have and combine it with the state and the city to figure out those steps forward.
Thank you.
Okay.
Judy Birdie.
I'm Judy Birdie. I'm president of the Roosevelt Island Historical Society. I've only been on the island 45 years. But in 1820-something, the Blackwell family, who really lived in Astoria, owned this island. They sold it to the city of New York. So we love Queens, but we have to stay in Manhattan. This redistricting is, you know, I love Queens, it's wonderful, but we're Manhattan. We go that way, we don't go this way. And the Historical Society supports all the good things that RIAC and everyone is doing for our community. And we feel that it's a wonderful, this is the most diverse community. When I moved here, everyone came from everywhere, and it's still this way, and we want it this way. It's a great place. I was the coordinator for the election yesterday. It's so much fun to work here, to be here, and we really hope that you can come and see and visit the island often, and maybe play pickleball. But really, we are Manhattan, nothing against the people to the east. So thank you very much for coming.
Lynn?
So I'd like to, in lieu of Roe versus Wade, and
Okay,
what's
so
happening with that.
I'm sorry, excuse me for let's just make a note that we need to look at the redistricting and what is the conversation. Evidently, you're hearing something, so let's figure that out.
Okay.
So we have an incredible monument on the end of our island called the Girl Puzzle. We would like to invite you back to see it on October 11th, which is the day of the International UN Day of the Girl, to celebrate girl and women's voices. One of the things that's unique about our monument is that it is one of the only ones that is specifically for and about women in the country. It's one of the largest monuments with women in the world, and it shows all different types of women, ethnic and different LGBTQ and African American and Asian and old and young. And it is honoring Nellie Bly, who her passion in life was giving women a voice. We would love to invite you back on that day, on October 11th, to celebrate that day with us here at our monument.
It's on the southern or the northern tip of the island?
It's on the northern tip.
Okay, got it, all right.
Right beyond Kohler Hospital.
Okay, so can we make a note of that? The date was that October 11th?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you know what time it is?
To be determined.
Okay.
We'll plan it when you're available.
Exactly.
Okay.
Margie Smith.
Okay, just to jump off what Matthew said, just so you know, you get to name two people on the RIAC board. One has to be a resident, the other one doesn't, but can be. So I urge you to appoint two residents. But my main point is we need some medical facilities on the island.
Yes.
We have a beautiful medical facility that's empty now. We had a pediatrician who just retired. We have another physician here who's probably close to retirement. But the facility is great. I can't believe there are some hospitals or medical places in New York that couldn't use that facility as something while having their people here to kind of kill two birds with one stone.
What's the population?
Anywhere between 12 and 14,000. The problem is,
Joyce Short.
Okay, a couple of things. First of all, I'm also the founder of the Democratic Club on Roosevelt Island. And we were involved in the fight for kindergarten redistricting. It's my honor to sit next to Sharon, who the coordinator for CDP. And I wanted to let you know, as I was walking out of the building, and I was walking out of the hearing the other night, the gentleman who collects the comments for the district committee stopped me and said, "Are you Joyce Short?" I thought, and he introduced himself and told me what he did. I thought, uh-oh, what did I do wrong? And he said, on the contrary, I congratulate you. Do you know that Roosevelt Island had the highest volume of comment letters of any area of the city of New York? And the District 5, the comments for District 5 were actually greater than all of New York City put together. So that's how important it is to keep this island as a Manhattan island. Our tramway warrants it. I want to also mention to you that appointing Roosevelt Islanders is skill, not democracy. As you know, you get elected by the population and you get unelected by the population. So when people are appointed to the board, even though they're Roosevelt Islanders, the community has no say. We have no input. They're not responsible or accountable to the community. What is really needed in this community is elected representation. And as much as I love Sheldon, think that he does a good job for Roosevelt Island, I know that Sheldon agrees that we need elected representation in this community.
And then it was taken away.
No, they were never election. I ran the referendum.
I'm Sherry Weiner from Community Board 8, which encompasses District 4 and 5, and we had passed a resolution opposing the proposed redistricting map, which takes Roosevelt Island and the east side of Manhattan, including Sutton Place, and moves into Queens District 26. The Community Board unanimously opposed the proposed map. We've come up with a proposed map that would keep York and First Avenue and Sutton Place in Manhattan, as well as Roosevelt Island. They are communities of interest. As we said, we have nothing against, they don't want to see them. The police testified, they don't want us coming in there. It throws their whole dynamic, the demographics off. So I'd like to give you your own copy of Community Board 8
Give it to Rachel.
resolution.
The majority of your elected officials are Manhattan.
Yeah, every
Your
senator is
senators,
Manhattan.
Got you, we heard it loud and clear. Give me another issue,
There's a map on there also.
Got it?
Sherry,
Yes.
Hi,
How are you?
happy to have you here.
Thank you.
I just want to clarify something, because what we had on Roosevelt Island for the board members, we couldn't figure out what to call it. We called it an election, a plebiscite, blah, we didn't know, because the people, the Residents Association that we used to be part of was organized nominees and an election, what we call an election, for people's names to be put forward, to be given to the governor, to the mayor and to the governor, eventually to be appointed. They're always appointed by the governor to sit on the RIAC board. The election was very local. We had people from the community who ran to have their names put forward to sit on the board, but it was always an appointment. It was never a direct election, and that's what we have been up in arms about, is that we do not actually have a direct line to who sits on the RIAC.
Got it. So listen, this is what we're doing. This is what we're going to do.
What?
You go, I'm a list guy. I believe in lists. I need for you to create a list, give it to the assemblywomen. We would sit down, those areas that I could have a direct, from the appointment to the boards to the redistricting, I'm going to respond directly. Here's what we're going to do about it. So today's visit is just an introduction. It's just to come in and say, I know you, I see you, I hear you. You are very much part of Manhattan. Whoa! And we will then do a follow. I will be here for the dedication. And I'm going to be here several times to sit down and learn more about Roosevelt Island. So don't feel the need that we gotta get everything done today. This was my, I told the team I want to get over here. I want to meet some of the everyday folks, and then we want to continue to have a dialogue as we move forward in the next couple of years. But I know there's some immediate things. We're going to respond to that. You have that teacher in school that keeps you on schedule? That's my teacher. Looking at me, and she's telling me I have to stay on schedule because she has us back to back to back. So this is only the beginning. That's the sole purpose of that.
Just one more. My name is Barbara Carter, and I'm a part of the Roosevelt Island Democratic Association, but I'm also head of the subcommittee for the 460 building, affordable housing building, which we have several issues, and I would love to be able to talk.
Part of the list, part of the list, part of the list,
All
okay.
right, thank you.
She said,